Let me ask you something real quick. Have you ever found yourself stuck in that quiet moment, thinking, this is just who I am? Maybe it's after you've replayed a conversation in your head for the 100th time, wishing you'd said something different. Maybe it's after you gave up on a dream you once deeply wanted. Or perhaps it's the feeling you get when you freeze up at the exact moment you wish you had the courage to speak. Somewhere deep inside, a quiet voice whispers, I guess that's just not me. But what if I told you something different? Something powerful. You aren't fixed. You aren't finished. And you certainly aren't stuck. Hey everyone, I'm Bix, and welcome back to Bix Book Summary, where we transform life-changing books into deep, heartfelt conversations. Conversations that wake something up inside of you and push you towards growth. Today we're diving into Personality Isn't Permanent by Benjamin Hardy, a remarkable book that challenges one of the most stubborn myths out there. That your personality is some permanent, immovable thing you're forced to carry with you for life. Because here's the game-changing truth the author uncovers for us. Who you are today isn't who you were yesterday, and it doesn't limit who you could become tomorrow. In fact, your personality isn't something set in stone. It's flexible, adaptable, and completely transformable. Your habits, your mindset, your daily choices, they're all waiting for you to shape them into the person you want to become. And guess what? You're in the driver's seat. This book is your roadmap out of the invisible prisons we've built around ourselves. Those prisons are built from stories. Stories like, I'm not good enough, I'm too shy, I'm bad at relationships, I'm not disciplined enough, or I'm always going to be anxious. But the beauty of a story is that it can be rewritten. And that's exactly what Benjamin Hardy empowers you to do. The writer doesn't just motivate you with empty phrases. He hands you real, practical tools that you can use right now. From reframing the stories of your past to clearly envisioning your ideal future self. From reshaping your environment to support growth, to building your daily life around the person you genuinely want to become. Not just the one you've always been. Because if your current personality was shaped by experiences from your past, you can absolutely create a new one through fresh experiences, intentional actions, and courageous choices. In today's video, we'll explore exactly how you can stop letting your past dictate your life and instead begin creating from your future. We'll unpack how to let go of outdated labels that no longer serve you, how to cultivate a new identity that aligns with your dreams, and most importantly, how you can begin living that transformation, not someday far away, but starting right here, right now. Because who you are today, it isn't your destiny. It's just your starting point. And the life you're dreaming of, it isn't waiting for you to stumble across it. It's waiting for you to boldly step forward and create it. So let's dive deep and start crafting the life you truly want. One of the biggest lies we quietly believe without even noticing is this. Because something happened before, it will always happen again. Because I failed once, I'll fail again. Because that's who I used to be, that's who I'll always be. But Benjamin Hardy gently yet powerfully shows us that this belief isn't just misguided, it's downright dangerous. When we anchor our identity in past events, we unknowingly build invisible barriers around our potential. We hold ourselves back, not because we're incapable, but because we've convinced ourselves we are. We stop dreaming bigger, we stop taking risks, we stop growing into the people we're capable of becoming. But here's the beautiful truth the author invites us to embrace. Your past is just a collection of experiences. It's not a prophecy of your future. You aren't defined by your mistakes. You aren't trapped by your old patterns. You aren't bound to the stories you've repeated to yourself for years. Those moments were just snapshots in time. They were choices made under specific circumstances. They were chapters, but not the entire book. Because here's the empowering part. You are the author. And every author has the power to revise, to rewrite, and to reshape the story they're telling. Benjamin Hardy explains that most of us live in what's known as a narrative identity, a personal story we've formed based on selective memories from our past. But the big issue with memory? It's notoriously unreliable. Memory is emotional, selective, and heavily biased. We don't recall our past objectively. We remember it through the tinted lens of our fears, wounds, and self-doubts. If you've been walking around with stories that say you're terrible at relationships, incapable of handling money, or too timid to speak up, it's likely you're still trapped by old interpretations. And these stories? They're not absolute truths. They're simply old beliefs you no longer need to carry forward. But here's where the radical shift happens. You have to actively choose to let those limiting narratives go. You have to look at your past clearly and confidently say, yes, that was me then, but it doesn't have to be me now. Realize that your past self, the one who made those mistakes, who felt overwhelmed or lost, was doing the very best they could with the tools and understanding available at that time. But today, you're different. Today, you have fresh perspectives, new wisdom, new tools, and new possibilities. Today, you have the incredible opportunity to write a new story, one that excites you, empowers you, and aligns with who you truly want to become. Benjamin Hardy teaches us that healing from our past doesn't mean endlessly picking it apart or constantly revisiting trauma. Instead, it means choosing a new and healthier relationship with it. This doesn't mean denying your past or resenting it. It means seeing it clearly, accepting it compassionately, and then courageously freeing yourself from its hold. Your past can only define your future if you choose to drag it along behind you. And here's the liberating truth. You don't have to. Instead, you can look back and say, thank you, past self, for getting me to where I am today. But from here on, I'm choosing a new direction. That powerful choice is your doorway to transformation. Ahead in this video, we'll unpack exactly how to start creating that transformation, beginning with a clear, vibrant, and compelling vision of your future self. Because the key to change isn't in endlessly fixing your past, it's in wholeheartedly falling in love with your future. Most people live their lives by accident. They drift into careers they never really chose. They settle into routines they never consciously decided on. One day they pause, look around, and wonder with a quiet disbelief, how did I end up here? Benjamin Hardy helps us understand that this happens because many of us never truly decide who we want to become. Here's the powerful truth that Hardy shares with us. Your future self isn't something you're meant to stumble upon or discover. It's something you're meant to deliberately create. Take a moment and let that sink in. Your future isn't waiting to be magically found. It's something you build, consciously and intentionally, step by step, decision by decision. You're not going to magically find yourself one day. You're not going to stumble into your life's purpose as if it's hidden away somewhere waiting for you to uncover it. Instead, you're going to build that future self, brick by brick, choice by choice, action by deliberate action. And it all begins with one simple yet profoundly life-changing question. Who do you truly want to be? Not what job do you want, not what house do you hope to own, not what car you'd like to drive, but deeply and personally, who do you want to be when no one else is looking? What values do you wish to embody? What qualities do you want people to feel when they're around you? What kind of relationships do you want to nurture and grow? How do you hope to handle challenges when life tests you? Hardy emphasizes that when you get clear on this future self, when you vividly picture them in your mind, you gain the incredible ability to make your choices based on who you're becoming rather than who you've been. Because here's the reality. Every decision you make either aligns you with your future self or anchors you back to your past self. Every time you step forward with courage when fear whispers for you to shrink, you're building that future you. Every time you choose discipline and consistency when comfort tempts you back into old patterns, you're building that future you. Every time you embrace growth, welcome discomfort, and stay open to possibility, you inch closer to the person you've always wanted to become. But there's a crucial step you must take. You have to act before you feel ready. Why? Because your feelings are rooted in your past conditioning. Your future self exists beyond your comfort zone, beyond the emotions you're currently familiar with. You have to trust in something more powerful than the comfort of your current emotions. You have to trust in your vision. Hardy calls this transformative approach future self-thinking. It means living each day not as a repeat of yesterday, but as a purposeful rehearsal for the incredible person you're becoming. When you adopt this way of thinking, you intentionally start designing your life. You consciously choose habits, environments, relationships, and routines that align with the future you're building, not the past you're moving away from. Over time, these small, Courageous decisions compound. Until one day, you wake up and realize something extraordinary. You're no longer who you used to be. You're no longer pretending or striving. You've become the future self you once only dreamed about. So ask yourself right now, if I were already my future self, what would I do today? How would I think differently, act differently, speak differently, live differently? Because that future you isn't patiently waiting for some distant someday. They're waiting for this very moment. Ahead in this video, we'll explore how you can start closing the gap between who you are today and who you aspire to become. By thoughtfully aligning your environment, your habits, and your very identity with the compelling vision of your future self. Most of us underestimate how much power our surroundings actually hold over us. We've been conditioned to think success is purely about willpower, about grinding harder, about pushing through obstacles, about fighting every urge to fall back into old habits. But Benjamin Hardy invites us to see something that once you notice it feels so clear and so true. Your environment shapes you every single day, whether you notice it or not. Your habits, your moods, your ambitions, even your sense of identity are constantly influenced by your surroundings. They don't exist independently. They're deeply impacted by where you spend your time, who you spend it with, and the daily inputs you expose yourself to. Think about it for a second. If your days are filled with people who constantly gossip, complain, or see life as something to be endured rather than embraced, you'll quietly slip into those same patterns without even realizing it. If your physical space is cluttered, chaotic, and filled with distractions, you'll naturally struggle to find the clarity, focus, or peace required to pursue your goals. If your daily environment reinforces the past version of yourself, the one you're trying so hard to move beyond, you'll continue to unconsciously relive your old stories, no matter how big your dreams might be. That's why Benjamin Hardy tells us, loud and clear, if you truly want to change who you're becoming, you have to change what's around you first. You have to intentionally design an environment that pulls you forward into the future, rather than holding you stuck in the past. Your surroundings must reflect who you want to become, not just who you've always been. And creating this shift doesn't mean you need to uproot your entire life or remove everyone from it. It begins with small, intentional choices. Maybe it's creating a specific, inspiring corner in your home for your new project, whether that's writing, business planning, painting, or simply thinking clearly. Maybe it's spending a bit more time each week around friends who challenge you, inspire you, and hold you accountable to become your best self. Maybe it's removing the subtle distractions, those apps, routines, or even clutter, that quietly pull you back into old habits. Because here's the reality. You will naturally rise or fall to the level of your environment. Not because you're weak, not because you're flawed, but because you're human. Environment is far stronger than willpower alone. The people who consistently succeed aren't relying solely on discipline or endless effort. Instead, they deliberately shape their environment to make the right actions easier and more automatic. They arrange their lives so that success isn't just possible, it's inevitable. If you're serious about making lasting change, don't just try harder, think smarter. Put environment first. Pause right now and ask yourself, does my current environment truly reflect the person I'm committed to becoming? And if the honest answer is no, ask another crucial question. What small, achievable change can I make today to better align my surroundings with my future? Because every small shift you make matters deeply. Every new boundary, every intentional choice, every decision about who or what you allow into your space, it all adds up. The life you're dreaming of is already within your grasp. You simply need to shape the world around you in a way that makes your dreams inevitable. Ahead in this video, we'll dive deeper into how your habits and daily actions powerfully complete this transformation, and how to align each small daily step with the future you're now courageously claiming. There's this old idea most of us absorb without even realizing it, that change has to be dramatic to count, that you need some earth-shattering breakthrough, that you have to make a giant risky leap, that you need to wake up one day and be an entirely new person overnight. But Benjamin Hardy offers us something far more real and far more sustainable. True change, it's quiet. It's gradual. It's found in the tiny, almost invisible choices you make every single day, woven with massive intention and repeated with quiet persistence. Because here's the truth. You don't become disciplined by setting 100 different goals on a whim. You don't become confident by scrolling through endless motivational quotes. You don't build a new identity by wishing or hoping it magically happens. You build it through deliberate daily action. Tiny choices. Done with intention. Done consistently. Done with the vision of your future self guiding you, not the echoes of the past self you're ready to outgrow. Every time you show a little courage when hiding would be easier, you're building the new you. Every time you say no to an old pattern that no longer fits your vision, you're casting another vote for the future you. Every time you choose action over procrastination, even when it's uncomfortable, you stretch the muscles of who you are becoming. Benjamin Hardy reminds us that identity isn't something you simply stumble across. It's something you build with your hands, your choices, and your commitment. And it's built not by what you dream about when you're feeling inspired, but by what you consistently practice. Especially when the excitement fades, and it's just you and the quiet discipline of becoming. That's why habits are so profoundly powerful. Not because any single habit is life-changing in a moment, but because habits are how you silently, steadily cast thousands of votes for the kind of person you are becoming. It's the early morning workout. It's the single page written when you don't feel like it. It's the uncomfortable but necessary phone call made. It's the quiet journal entry at the end of a long day. It's the 5 minutes of stillness when your mind wants to race. Tiny things, repeated day after day, stacked on top of each other until one day you don't even recognize how far you've come. The author puts it simply, the difference between who you are today and who you want to become lies in the small things you choose to repeat. Not the grand intentions, not the bursts of motivation that come and go, but the small, almost ordinary practices you commit to, especially on the days it feels hardest. Because here's the real magic. Anyone can act in alignment when they're fired up and motivated. But true transformation happens when you choose to act in alignment even when you're tired, uncertain, and tempted to quit. That's how you free yourself from the gravitational pull of the old self. Not by waiting for perfect conditions, not by waiting to finally feel ready, but by moving forward as if you're already the future self you are becoming. One choice at a time. One moment at a time. So ask yourself today, what's one small daily action my future self would already be doing? It doesn't have to be massive. It just has to be real. Start there. Start small. Start now. Because the future you isn't some distant version you'll meet someday. They're being built right now. In this breath, in this single beautiful intentional choice. And ahead in this video, we'll bring everything together, walking step by step through how to stop living by accident and start living on purpose, designing a life that reflects the truest, most powerful version of who you are meant to become. Most people go through life without ever truly designing it. They drift, they react, they survive, and without even realizing it, they slowly hand over the pen to their story, letting old labels, outdated fears, and inherited expectations write the chapters for them, living by who they were once told they were, living by what feels safe instead of what feels right, living by definitions that no longer fit who they're becoming. But you're not most people. The writer invites you into something entirely different, something deeper, something more honest and powerful. You're not here to live on autopilot. You're not here to just get through the days. You're here to design your life on purpose, with vision, with love, with the kind of boldness that stirs your soul awake. Because the future you've been dreaming of, the one that feels a little too big, a little too beautiful to speak out loud, it won't just land in your lap. It won't magically arrive one day when everything feels ready. It has to be built. It has to be chosen. It has to be created, one small, courageous decision at a time. And the most beautiful part? You already have everything you need inside you. You don't need to be fixed. You don't need to earn your worth. You don't need to wait until you're somehow more deserving. You just need to let go of the belief that you're stuck. You just need to trust the quiet voice that's been whispering to you all along. The one calling you forward into the life that's waiting for you to claim it. Benjamin Hardy reminds us, your personality isn't permanent. Your habits aren't permanent. Your identity isn't permanent. Nothing about you is fixed unless you choose to stay the same. And once you realize that, you realize you're free. Free to change. Free to evolve. Free to imagine a life so aligned, so full of truth and joy, that it feels like finally coming home to yourself. So here's what I want to leave you with today. You are not the person your past shaped you into. You are not the mistakes you made. You are not the fear you've carried silently for so long. You are the person you choose to become, starting right here, right now. And the only real question is, will you take the pen back into your own hands and design your life on purpose? Or will you keep drifting through someone else's idea of who you should be? If this video stirred something inside you, if it woke up even a small spark, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Bix Book Summary. I would love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me, what's one small choice your future self would thank you for today? I've also added a link to Personality Isn't Permanent in the description if you want to dive deeper into this incredible journey. And trust me, it's one of those books that stays with you long after you turn the last page. Until next time, I'm Bix. Stay intentional, stay visionary, and never stop creating the life you were always meant to live.